They handed me the baby while I was still sobbing over my wife's lifeless body. It was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Instead, it became the beginning of a nightmare I never saw coming. My wife died after giving birth, and now I've just found out I'm not even the father. This is the story I never wanted to tell. But here it is. We met when I was 26. I had just moved to a new city, trying to leave behind a string of bad decisions and a few broken hearts. New job, new apartment, new mindset. I wasn't looking for love, I was looking for peace. But then came her. Emily. She was electric. The kind of woman who walked into a room and pulled gravity with her. She wasn't loud, wasn't flashy, but when she laughed, people turned to see who it was. I met her at a friend's dinner party. She sat across from me, nursing a glass of red wine, quietly observing everyone with this sly smirk that said she knew something the rest of us didn't. We talked about books, music, life. She was sharp, sarcastic, and far more confident than I'd ever been around. I was hooked. Our first date turned into 3 days of being inseparable. We stayed up all night talking, watching old movies, eating delivery food on my floor like teenagers. It felt easy. Things moved fast, maybe too fast. 6 months later, we moved in together. A year after that, I proposed. Was it impulsive? Probably. But I loved her. I really did. Emily was complicated, though. She had moods she couldn't explain. Sometimes she'd go quiet for days, then suddenly light up again. I always chalked it up to stress or hormones. She was fiercely independent, hated being questioned, and never liked talking about her past relationships. That should have been a red flag, but love makes you overlook a lot of things. And I didn't want to lose her. We had fights, sure. Big ones. But they always ended in passion. Apologies. Promises to do better. The sex was great. The chemistry was intense. And when she told me she wanted to start trying for a baby, I felt like maybe we'd finally settled into something real. Something lasting. We tried for almost a year. No success. She blamed herself. I reassured her. We saw doctors. Ran tests. Everything came back normal. Then, one morning, she woke me up crying. The test was positive. I cried too. Emily's pregnancy wasn't easy. Morning sickness, mood swings, exhaustion. She became more distant with me. Sometimes I'd find her staring blankly at nothing for minutes at a time. She wasn't affectionate anymore. I figured it was hormones. Everyone said it was normal. I wanted to be supportive. She was 38 weeks when she went into labor. We rushed to the hospital, and I held her hand through every agonizing scream. I kept telling her how proud I was, how strong she was, how much I loved her. And when I heard our baby cry for the first time, I thought it was the best moment of my life. But then I turned to look at her. She wasn't breathing. Doctors screamed. Nurses rushed in. I was shoved out of the way as alarms went off. She never woke up. They said it was an amniotic fluid embolism. Rare. Unpredictable. She died within minutes. I was still shaking when they handed me our baby girl. I named her Hope. I went numb for weeks. The funeral was a blur. People hugged me, cried with me, said she was watching over us. I smiled and nodded, but inside, I was dead. My life became diaper changes, sleepless nights, and grief. Some nights I'd sit in the nursery and just sob quietly so I wouldn't wake her. But every time I looked at Hope, I saw Emily. I saw her nose, her mouth, her eyes. And it was the only thing keeping me going. Until Hope turned 6 months old. And my mother made a comment I will never forget. She's beautiful. But strange, she doesn't look much like you, does she? I laughed it off. But the comment stuck in my brain like a splinter. I started noticing things I hadn't before. Her eyes weren't brown, they were blue. No one in my family had blue eyes. Her skin was paler than mine or Emily's. Her features were unfamiliar. Still, I felt disgusting for even thinking it. This was my daughter. My little girl. I fed her, rocked her, sang to her. But curiosity turned into anxiety. And anxiety turned into obsession. I finally ordered a paternity test. I remember the day the results arrived. I didn't even want to open it at first. It sat on the kitchen table while Hope babbled in her high chair. Then I picked it up. Tore it open. Probability of paternity, 0%. I blinked. Reread it. Over and over. My hands trembled. My breath caught in my throat. I wasn't the father. The world tilted. All the pain I'd felt, burying my wife, raising Hope alone, grieving every single day, it all turned into something darker. Betrayal. Confusion. Rage. Who was the real father? Did Emily know? Did she plan to tell me? Was it a mistake, or a secret she was going to take to her grave from the beginning? I searched her phone. Her email. Her old journals. And then I found it. A letter. Unsent. Hidden in the back of her closet. If anything ever happens to me, please forgive me. I made a mistake. I was lonely. It was one night. I didn't think it would matter. But when I got pregnant, I knew. I just didn't know how to destroy your world with the truth. You were always the better man. I'm sorry. There was no name. No hint of who the father was. Just a note, and a daughter who suddenly didn't feel like mine anymore. After I read that letter, I sat there for what felt like hours, just staring. I looked over at Hope, my daughter, or at least the baby I had called my daughter, and everything inside me twisted into a knot. I didn't know what to feel. Grief again. Rage. Emptiness. This little girl had been my whole world for 6 months. She still was. But now, I didn't know who she really belonged to. That night, I didn't sleep. The next day, I started digging. I went through her email. There was nothing recent that gave any clues. But I went back, month by month, year by year. I was looking for anything suspicious, strange names, conversations that didn't sound friendly, appointments that didn't make sense. Then I found it. An email from a year and a half ago. Sent at 2:12 a.m. I need to talk to you. I can't keep pretending this didn't happen. We said it was a mistake, but it feels bigger than that now. I'm late. I don't know what to do. It was sent to someone named MW. I checked her contacts. Only one person with those initials. Mark Weston. My best friend. I froze. Mark and I had been close since college. He'd been the best man at our wedding. The guy who helped me pick out the ring. The guy who gave the speech that made Emily cry. He'd been at our house for dinner dozens of times. Played with our dog. Held our newborn in the hospital. I remember how he looked at her. Like he was proud. Like he knew something I didn't. I didn't want to believe it. I really didn't. So I kept going. Checked her text messages. Most had been deleted. But there were a few still in the trash folder, accidental, maybe. Or she forgot to clear them all. Emily, I can't do this anymore. It's eating me alive. Mark, just don't say anything. We said it was one night. That's all it ever was. Emily, she's not yours. She's mine and, my name, S. You said that. Mark, you think that. But we don't really know. I dropped the phone. My stomach turned so violently I ran to the bathroom and threw up. This was real. It wasn't just in my head. Mark, my best friend, slept with my wife. While we were trying to conceive. While we were building a family. And now there was a child in the middle of it all. I didn't confront him right away. I needed proof. I needed to be sure. So I reached out to a lawyer. Quietly. Asked what my rights were if I wasn't the biological father. Whether I could keep raising Hope. What would happen if her real father came forward? The answers were terrifying. Everything depended on him. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I stole a coffee cup from Mark's house. He invited me over to check in on me. I played along, made small talk, acted like I was just still grieving. He gave me a coffee. I took the mug when he wasn't looking. Had it tested. A week later, the DNA test confirmed what I already knew. Mark Weston is the biological father of my daughter. I stared at the report. Every word on that page was a punch in the gut. He had been there from the beginning. Pretending to be a friend. Smiling. Holding my baby. Telling me how strong I was for going through it all. He knew. He knew. And he said nothing. I wanted to confront him. I wanted to scream, to destroy something. But then I looked at Hope, sleeping in her crib. Peaceful. Innocent. And I realized, none of this was her fault. She didn't ask to be born into this mess. She didn't choose her mother. Or her father. Or me. All she knew was that I was the one who held her every night, fed her, sang to her when she cried. I was the only father she ever had. And suddenly, that was the only thing that mattered.